The Palm Springs Aerial Tramway closed for the entire day after last night's windstorm. Tonight, find out when it'll reopen and what caused the problem. The ANA Inspiration playing catch-up after the strong winds suspended play. Complete coverage in sports and whether golf's first major will be able to have a Sunday afternoon finish at Mission Hills Country Club. Raising awareness. See how the transgender community is working to do that with the third annual Day of Visibility.
Now from the Desert's news leader, this is News Channel 3 First at 10 on Fox 11, your local news 1 hour earlier.
Hello, I'm John White. Karen Devine has the night off. A lot of cleanup going on here in the valley on this Friday after last night's windstorm. The Palm Springs Aerial Tramway lost power thanks to the winds and was closed all day today. News Channel 3's Joe Galli begins our coverage on the windstorm fallout with reaction from people who were disappointed after traveling, in some cases, thousands of miles to go up the tram. Joe.
Well, John, let's focus on the good news first. If you have plans to head up the tram sometime this weekend, well, you're probably going to be able to do that. But for people today, it's a different story. Car after car after car after car after car. Security guards with the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway had to be the bearers of bad news. You could see the look of disappointment on the face of these people. The tram was closed for the day.
We came earlier this morning and it was closed down already, so they weren't letting anyone up.
Thursday's strong winds did damage throughout Palm Springs, including causing power outages. It was the lack of electricity that kept the tram from moving. SCE crews had to bring in some heavy machinery to fix the problem. Representatives with the tramway said that there was no physical damage to the tram itself. I talked to a few tourists today. Some came from as far away as across the pond. That's right, jolly old England, but they were disappointed when they couldn't head up to the tram.
It's disappointing. We haven't got time to do it tomorrow because our travels continue, but one day we'll come back and do it.
Apparently the number one thing to do in Palm Springs, so we had a little look on Google. They said this is something that you must do when you're in town, so we thought, well, we're here, we better do it.
A bit of bad luck for hundreds of people hoping to head to the top of Mount San Jacinto, where snow still awaits those who would like to travel nearly 10,000 feet from the desert floor. And for those of you that are interested in going up to the top of the tram, it is scheduled to open at its regular time, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Reporting live in Palm Springs, Joe Galli, News Channel 3.
Thank you, Joe. And more storm fallout now. Crews were busy all over the valley clearing the debris from the windstorm. News Channel 3's Jeremy Chen continues team coverage now with more on the damage and cleanup.
People in Palm Springs woke up to the sounds of street sweepers downtown. Thursday's windstorm left workers picking up palm fronds scattered in the street.
Huge fronds from the palm tree just came crashing down right in front of the Hard Rock Cafe, and I'm just glad nobody was walking along.
At City Hall, workers sawed down branches blown off of nearby trees. They piled them together for easy pickup. City staff says it was a busy cleanup effort, working all night and day.
Every road that we went down, as soon as we turned around, there was something right behind us, so it kept streets crews downtown.
City officials estimate over 100 trees across the city of Palm Springs toppled over during the windstorm, much like this one here at Demuth Park.
For every one tree that we lose, we have a policy to replant 2, so we'll replenish quickly.
Southern California Edison crews also worked on a toppled power pole. It caused the evacuation of Wet n Wild, but the water park was able to open again the next day. City staff says thanks to a heads up about the windstorm, their street crews were prepared for the aftermath.
We had already kind of pre-staffed. We got all of our equipment in place. We made sure that we were ready.
Jeremy Chen, News Channel 3, Palm Springs.
The ANA Inspiration, golf's first major of the year, will have a long day at play tomorrow as they try to get caught up after suspending play yesterday because of the winds and then again tonight because of darkness. Strong gusts suspended play yesterday afternoon over at Mission Hills Country Club, knocking down scoreboards, uprooting trees, scattering tables and chairs, ripping off awnings and leaving debris on the course. This morning, play was delayed for the cleanup to get the course and spectator areas all cleaned up. Many of the players will have to finish their second rounds tomorrow morning before third round play can begin. They hope to have everything back on schedule for a Sunday afternoon finish. Blake Arthur will have complete coverage with highlights and a look at the leaderboard coming up in sports. It is much nicer out there tonight here in the Valley, much calmer. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Haley Clausen is tracking your conditions. Haley, it's also kind of cool.
That it is, and the breeze that we are experiencing is certainly helping to add to that coolness out there. It's more in those wind-prone areas as we get a little bit closer towards the San Gorgonio Pass that the breeze is really being felt. 15 miles per hour right now in Thousand Palms, 16 miles per hour in Palm Springs, and 12 for Desert Hot Springs. But calm conditions being reported in Cathedral City, Palm Desert, as well as La Quinta. So generally what we're going to be dealing with as we head into the weekend are at times breezy conditions, just like we're feeling now, and then really throughout the rest of the weekend, nice and calm. So as we head into tomorrow afternoon, our winds are going to be out of the north. We have high pressure continuing to build over the state. And while, yes, it will be breezy at times, we're not looking at damaging gusts, nothing like what was dealt with yesterday. Instead, we have lots of sunshine, temperatures that are warming up compared to what we dealt with today. High temperatures in the upper 80s, going to be really nice and really dry with our humidity less than 20%. We'll take a broader look at your complete weather story coming up in just a little bit.
We'll see that. Thank you, Haley. The transgender community is calling this a Day of Visibility. It's an international event aimed at celebrating diversity and raising awareness. Here in the Coachella Valley, there was the third annual event, I should say, was celebrated at the Annenberg Center at Eisenhower Medical Center. News Channel 3's Zarina Carazada is live in the newsroom with more. Zarina.
John, the trans community says they continue to fight for transgender rights, but today is about recognizing the trials they went through and the successes they've had so far.
The more visibility we get, the more that everybody else out there in America, in the world, can see we're just human. We're just like everybody else.
Riley Ford is transgender and married with 4 children. He says it's important to recognize the strides that have been made.
I try to make sure that other people are aware that you can have everything you want in life. You just have to have the courage to step up and put your face out there.
April Rose transitioned less than 6 months ago. She says it wasn't easy coming out.
I used to live with my family, and that was a very toxic environment, and I wasn't able to be myself. But since I've been out, I've been much happier.
Both Rose and Ford support the Day of Visibility event. One speaker reminded the community about how the community is better recognized today than before.
In the past year, we've seen a lot of television shows portray us in a positive light. We've seen a lot of transgender youth speaking out publicly on trans issues, which really makes a lot of us that are older happy.
Ford says despite progress, the community still has to fight for acceptance. And the only way to get it is to stay visible.
We're not weirdos, we're not freaks, we're just people. And we just want the same basic human rights as everybody else.
The day is recognized on March 31st since 2009. Live in the newsroom, Zarina Carazada, News Channel 3.
Thank you, Zarina. A man is in custody tonight accused of breaking into a dollar store in Coachella. Police say the same man broke into another store across the street. Police responded to an alarm at the Family Dollar Store on Harrison Street. They found Jesus Miranda of Coachella walking near the store with several stolen items. They say he's also connected to last week's burglary at Payless Shoe Source. Miranda was booked into the county jail in Indio and is being held now on $20,000 bail. Up to the minute details on a murder case in Coachella. Prosecutors will not seek the death penalty against the man accused of repeatedly stabbing his ex-girlfriend outside her Coachella home after she broke up with him. 38-year-old Carlos Mendoza is charged with killing 31-year-old Cecilia Silva last year. Silva was found lying in the driveway of her home on Calle Empalme. An investigator testified in the preliminary hearing that she was stabbed at least 15 times. Mendoza also faces a special circumstance allegation of lying in wait. Mendoza now faces a maximum sentence of life without the possibility of parole if found guilty. There he is. He's due back in court next week. A man has been arrested in connection with a double murder in 29 Palms. Last Friday, 32-year-old Christy McKissick and 62-year-old Renee Metcalf were found shot to death at a home on Bedouin Avenue in a neighborhood just south of 29 Palms Highway. Investigators have been able to identify 22-year-old Raphael Akins as the person responsible for their deaths, they say. He was arrested at his home last night. The investigation is still ongoing. We now know the name of a victim killed in what police are calling a DUI crash in Cathedral City. 26-year-old Miguel Munhia of Cathedral City died early yesterday morning after police say 19-year-old Jose Meza ran a stop sign and slammed into the side of the car Munhia was in. Police say Meza was under the influence. The crash happened at Whispering Palms Trail on McCallum Way in Cathedral City. Meza was arrested on suspicion of gross vehicular manslaughter and DUI. He's being held on $500,000 bail and is due in court on Tuesday. Free medical treatment is being offered at the Riverside County Fairgrounds in Indio this weekend. Health, vision, and dental care will all be provided. Only one treatment will be offered, though, per visit. People who want care need to pick up a wristband between 4 and 7 p.m. the day before services. Walk-ins are welcome, but it may be a long wait.
Our community members who go very long sometimes with pain and suffering, who sometimes can't smile completely because they're self-conscious of their teeth, and this is their one moment where they can come and get the help that they need.
The health fair runs until Sunday, so you could pick up a wristband tomorrow afternoon between 4 and 7 for services on Sunday. Hundreds of local elementary students took to the streets in Coachella in honor of Cesar Chavez Day. Students chanted "Yes, we can" in Spanish to kick off the 26th annual Cesar Chavez Day March and celebration. Each year, farm workers, educators, local leaders, and student activists from Cesar Chavez Elementary School come together to remember the legacy of the labor leader and civil rights activist.
One man really changed this world, really changed the state of California, really changed the Coachella Valley and the nation. And I think there's a lot that we can learn today that's applicable to what's going on in terms of where we want to stand as a nation.
We want to teach the students here at Cesar Chavez to continue the tradition of Cesar Chavez, so they can learn what Cesar Chavez did for our parents, our grandparents, during the huelga, the strike back in the 60s.
This year's theme was Todos Unidos, which means everyone together. The Russian investigation continues to hang over the Trump administration. Next on News Channel 3, the White House now responding to former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn's request for immunity. And new developments in the case of the Charleston church shooter. You're watching the Desert's News Leader, first at 10 on Fox 11.